Imagine this. You wake up on a cold morning in the middle of the 21st century, and your alarm goes off with the sound of a Viking war horn. You open the window, and instead of seeing an electric car pass by, you spot a boat with wheels and solar sails sailing through snow-covered streets. That's right, you live in Norway, but a Norway where the Vikings never gave up power. Let's imagine the world now. Politics, no ballot boxes, only axes. Instead of digital elections, leaders are chosen through battles. Of arguments, of course. Political debates in Viking Norway happen in circular arenas, where candidates wear helmets and answer questions with speeches full of poetry, war cries, and cordial insults. No parliament here. The government runs on the ancient Althing, an assembly where each clan sends a representative. To pass a law, you must convince the other jarls, clan leaders, offering gifts, epic tales, and if necessary, a barrel of mead. The official currency isn't the euro or the Norwegian krone. It's Baltic sea salt, premium quality dried fish, or, for serious matters, units of honor. Something like trust converted into credit. A turbocharged medieval market economy. The economy of modern Viking Norway is a fusion of ancient maritime trade and modern innovation. Longships are now hybrids, powered by wind, solar panels, and of course, the brute strength of 5 Vikings rowing, just for tradition's sake. Major companies are called merchant clans. The Oystein clan controls tech trade. The Ragnhild clan dominates renewable energy, and the Skjold clan holds a monopoly on the vegan fur market. Corporate meetings happen in communal halls, where executives wear wool cloaks and make decisions by banging beer mugs on the table. Every contract sealed with a rune and a promise of honor. If someone breaks it, they owe 3 months of labor to the offended clan, usually sewing shields or feeding goats. Think Vikings wouldn't know how to use tech? They were the first ship hackers, conquering the seas with mental maps and stars. Today, they'd use crow-shaped drones, and social media would be called SagaNet, where every post must include at least one poem in Old Norse. GPS, replaced by the GPRS, Guided Personal Rune System. It doesn't say turn right, but rather, toward the setting sun, take 3 steps north of the lone pine. Then listen to the wind. Smartphones, of course, but with runes engraved on the back. And Ciri's name is Freya. She only responds if you offer honey. Viking culture lives in every detail. Education is based on wisdom battles. Kids learn math by comparing shields. Instead of grades, they receive temporary rune tattoos with educational meanings. The most watched shows are 12-season epic sagas told around bonfires, featuring actors who are also real-life warriors. Game of Thrones, considered a light soap opera. Fashion, a mix of synthetic furs, eco-leather, and lots of braided hair. The style is called trad futuristic, where every piece of clothing must survive a snowstorm and still shine under the northern lights. The gods are still revered. Odin is the supreme sage, and Freya, the patroness of marriage and protection. There are modern temples with minimalist Scandinavian design, but inside, torches, giant statues, and ravens that, they say, deliver divine messages via Wi-Fi. Religious ceremonies are filled with dance, chants, and symbolic rituals. Weddings, sealed with the clash of 2 axes and the blessing of a priest in golden armor, and the rest of the world. Viking Norway became a superpower, not through brute force, but through ancestral wisdom and respect for nature. While other countries fight over oil, Norway exports energy from mountain winds and wisdom from the elders. Other nations began to follow. Germany created its own engineering clan. Japan, ever fond of discipline, sent diplomats to study the Viking way of life. Brazil traded caipirinhas for mead at themed festivals. The UN, replaced by the Assembly of the Nine Realms, where countries gather once a year on a secret island to decide the fate of the world. To the sound of tribal drums and wooden flutes, you wake up to the caw of a raven on your windowsill. You have barley bread and honey for breakfast, wear a tunic with thermal pockets, and ride to work on an automated sled pulled by sensor-equipped reindeer. On the way, you listen to a podcast called Talks with Thor and plan your vacation in Iceland, where you'll learn to forge your own ceremonial sword and write a poem about life. At night, you gather with your neighbors around the fireplace, share stories, sing songs, and thank the gods for the day, and technology for keeping your fingers warm. If the Vikings still ruled Norway, the world would be more epic, more poetic, and, surprisingly, more organized. They weren't just warriors. They were navigators, inventors, traders, and storytellers. And maybe, just maybe, what we need most today is a little more courage, honor, and community spirit. And perhaps, just perhaps, a decorative axe on the wall.